Welcome back to Supremely Black Podcast. This is your co-host D Rose. How's everything going on y'all end, fella?
And everything good. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. Uh, Kids on spring break, so no cheerleading, no track. So we ain't running around too much this week. Produced, I think my first Nashville show. Yeah, I produced my first Nashville comedy show. I've done a lot of Nashville shows, but I produced my first one this past weekend and sold that thing out. So that make your boy feel real good on the comedy side. So we definitely gotta run that back on Jefferson Street at all places. Sold that thing out right on Jefferson Street. You know what I mean? Right in the hood with the comedy.
Solid, man. Congrats. That's the old Jefferson, right? That ain't the new.
That's the old. Nah, that ain't the new. That ain't the this right across the street from Fisk University. Old Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't change the name on that if you wanted to. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Congrats on that, man. How about you, Spirit?
Everything's good on my end. Everything's good. Just been busy, but other than that, all is well. So, ain't no complaints here.
Solid, yeah. On my end, allergies are up 100 points on your boy. I cannot shake them, dog. As soon as I go outside, I just feel like I'm just waking up with an elephant or something on my damn head and chest, man. It's been killing me all week. But I know you speaking about spring break. My sister them was able to come down, so I got to see my little niece and my three nephews, and we, got to spend some family time, kicked it. Every time I'm around them, I love them a lot, but I'm just reminded of why I don't have kids yet. So it's a blessing to everybody that has them. But listen here, man, I think I got a couple more years. So if anybody listening, yeah, your boy gonna be at the game about 2-3 more years, maybe 4 or 5.
That is for sure. Birth control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, every time we keep them, me and my wife like, yeah, we done. Like
yeah, absolutely. I tell them, love them to death, because they're gonna keep you young. But man, listen, yeah, that's a whole different ball game right there. So, I salute everybody out here with kids. If you're doing it alone, whether you're a man or a woman, major salute. Boy, I'm straight. But no, it's been outside of that, man, everything is, my heart's full. I got to see them. Only person really was missing was my little sister, but we're gonna put something together. But the news, man, everybody's, I'm pretty sure, unless you don't watch sports or care about sports at all, we've seen that Morant has been trending a lot. Recently, Powerade backed away from him. We really haven't got a chance to just go in depth with it. What's y'all thoughts? Do you think like it's the NBA is overreacting? Do you think this is a wake up call for Ja? What's y'all thoughts on it?
Well, for me, look, we got one thing we gonna have to straighten out. One thing for sure. Why is this man in the strip club with his shirt off? That's what I want to know right there. This man running around like he just did 15 years in a pen in the strip club. Hey,
I think that's that young cat era, man. Back when we was, going and I was getting there and we probably wasn't supposed to be in there, you didn't see nobody, with their shirt off. Let's stay fresh on from the tank trip. Like if they didn't be about 5 to 10, ain't no telling what you liable to turn around and see. But
you see somebody in a shirt, you look at them like, hey man, put your shirt back, dog. What are you doing? You out here looking real simple. Like, what club was it at? Magic City?
No, sir. No, that was in that was out there in Anglo-Saxon land, man, in Colorado.
Okay.
You know Magic City. Yeah, Magic City.
I don't know where I got Magic City from. Maybe I just seen a video in Magic City yesterday that blew my mind. But maybe that's why that was on my mind. But that strip club, no celebrity is gonna frequent that strip club. No. Like, you can't be out here releasing pictures of celebrities in a strip club and think that's gonna be cool. So I don't think anybody gonna be frequenting that anymore. I think Josh is young. I think it is a eye opener for him. You take somebody that young, you give them that amount of money. It's like you at that time you untouchable. You know what I mean? Like I remember being that young and being a supervisor at 21. I felt like I was untouchable. Just for a supervisor. Now you put some millions, multi-millions in a young person's pocket that's 21, 22, 23, that's never put their hands or seen that amount of money or lived that type of luxury. Of course, they're gonna think they unstoppable. Can't nobody do anything to them. Especially when you're the best player on the team. You becoming the face of the NBA. It's like, all right, I hear y'all talking, but what y'all gonna do? What y'all really gonna do to me? The team ain't gonna do nothing without me. The NBA, there's too many little kids out here that love me. I'm on your commercials. I'm on everything else. So I think this is an eye-opener for him, even though he didn't do anything crazy, but I think it's an eye-opener to keep from possibly ended up being that way.
I agree. I definitely agree on that.
No,
go ahead, Spirit.
I have to disagree with you. He did do something crazy, and what he did crazy is what these youngins do all the time: dry snitch on themselves. Ain't no reason why you put your own Instagram live up with you with a pistol, knowing who you are in a strip club. So that right there is crazy. Like,
when I say crazy, I mean wasn't involved in no shooting, didn't nobody get harmed, ain't out here robbing nobody, ain't nobody doing nothing like that. I mean, that little pistol, that little Harlem Nights pistol, he can get on with that. But that's what I mean as far as that. Now, is there anything that if I'm around him, look at him like, bro, you better not post that? Of course. But it wasn't nothing crazy when somebody got injured. It's police investigating, nothing like that.
I mean, well, it ain't a police investigation, but it's a league investigation. And the police already investigated in Colorado and said that they couldn't find no further evidence to come up with any charges. But the thing is, when you're dealing with a $231 million contract, it's crazy. Because if you go anywhere from that $231 million that's supposed to kick in next year, and let's say the league decides to rework that contract or just to make that contract null and void, and he has to sign another one to where he making half of that. That's crazy. For you to jeopardize your livelihood, your family's lives, all the people that you are employing, taking care of, and everything that you're doing as far as a family standpoint. I ain't talking about friends and associates. I'm just talking about family and what you could do to change the structure of your family is crazy. And so therefore, thank God nobody got injured and all that other stuff. But again, like we have to come to a standard in our culture and in our society to where we say some shit is just ridiculous and foolish. And yeah, crazy. That's the only term that I can use, because again, it's not like one of the strippers was clout chasing and say, "Oh, let me get Ja on camera for my views to go up" or anything. It wasn't like that. It was Ja doing it himself, knowing who he is and what professional lane he's in. Like, it just doesn't resonate with me. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just a childish act. I don't think it was something that he had thought about. I think he really just got caught in the moment. So I won't bash him in regards to it. I do like that you had mentioned that, accountability should be something that we all kind of praise. I just hope that what he learns from, Gatorade or whomever, or Powerade or whichever one, backing away from him, I think that's a key point, because, he still has Nike luring, he still has the contract that's going to kick in with the Grizzlies. So it's a lot of different things that could have been impacted. I'm just glad nobody was hurt. But I do hope that, since he's checked into treatment down there in Florida, that he actually really takes it serious, because, you throwing away at your earliest, at you 23, you already worth $250 million. Like, it can only get better, but it can go downstream fast. So I really hope that he takes an account of how he's moving, but then also more importantly, the people that's actually around him. I think is the key point of him just cleaning up his image. Sometimes you just got to understand that you have to move different, and you're no longer the kid that was hooping at Murray State. It's not that simple anymore. Like now, you really are a real figure and a real icon. And on top of that, kids do look up to you, even if you didn't sign up to be a role model. When you have that type of influence, sometimes you're pushed into that. So hopefully, you get a chance to look at it like that. So one thing that I had noticed, and I want to see what y'all thoughts on. I get it that within our people that we want to hold accountability, but it seems as if that we're willing to just cancel. This cancel culture shit is like willing to take away everything for a young man just holding up a pistol. And it's when I look at the comments and I read the articles, most of the most harsh articles are coming from people that look like us. So I just kind of figure like, at what point are we going to honestly just be like, okay, yeah, he made a mistake and he can learn from it. But we're so hard on each other. I don't know if it's really we want to have accountability or is it just slick hating? Like, what's y'all thoughts on people that are just like acting as if that he's actually actively involved in a murder case and this is the weapon that they had? Like, have y'all seen that? Have y'all read anything like that? It's just like doing too much. Like, y'all want to counsel the black man that much? Like, you got to be perfect or something.
I was looking. The name of the strip club is Shotgun Willie's, so that's the name of the strip club. As far as your question,
should have been in there. No way. Shotgun Willie's. I'm not going to strip club named Shotgun Willie's.
That's kind of how that area got the offer. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
But and another thing that I will say too though is he was in the VIP section, so some other things could have went down to why he had his shirt off. So again, it wasn't like he was in the commons area where us regular folks be. He was in the VIP section closed off with just him and his select group of people that he was with. So his shirt being off might have been for something totally different. And if you know, you know. So again, he could have had a cleanup on aisle 3. So So we're just gonna leave it at that. But
game of 36 is what I was thinking, but I get it.
But to answer your question, Rose, I will say that for me, I don't really be in the blogs or in the news clippings or in all of that other stuff or in the comments to read. So I haven't seen it personally myself. For the people who are doing to what you're speaking about, though, I would say it's semi a fine line because I do understand trying to hold him accountable, trying to tell him he got to do better. If you know better, you do better. To try to tell the man, like, you in a position that a lot of us won't even come close to, can't touch, can't even aspire to be, potentially be in the face of a league, not even a franchise, of a league, potentially earning, because he's young, 23, this $231 million fully guaranteed contract, because that's what NBA is, especially for athletes of that stature, runs out in 5 years. So he'll be 28. And by the time he's 28, the league contracts might be at $400 million. So to potentially earn about $1 billion in your lifetime career in the NBA, and to jeopardize that, I can see some people's angst and anger. However, if you trying to say cancel the man or the man should be behind bars or anything ludicrous and crazy like that, just take a chill pill, press the brakes. It's not that deep. However, we do have to also stop condoning or giving passes to stupid mistakes. I mean, at the end of the day, if you at home, your grandma, your mama, your daddy, or whoever it was, if you make a mistake, ain't just gonna be like, oh, it's okay, baby, you young. There will be some consequences and ramifications for your mistakes. So I understand that aspect as well. It's just all you could do is just, if you are gonna speak your piece on it, speak your piece, but come from a logical standpoint versus just, coming out trying to get, your 2 minutes claim of fame, thinking your comment gonna go viral or your article gonna go viral talking about a man or something like that. What he did was, like I said, it was a dumb, childish mistake, but it was a mistake. He can come back from this, and I hope he comes back from this better and wiser. However, it was something that should have never transpired because, again, at the end of the day, I think even if he wouldn't have snitched on himself and he still would have did everything would have happened the same way besides him going on IG Live, we wouldn't be talking about it. So he has to also understand that he's in the fire because of himself and nobody else. It is his own doing that caused him this I don't even want to call it a hailstorm, but that caused him to be into the spotlight that he's in this fashion.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway from it, and it's more or less of like the people that have a huge platform that cover sports, is like the putting them into like a gang and all of the extracurricular stuff. Is like a lot of this stuff y'all didn't mention. Like, trust me, before they invested that type of money, they would have known if who he was affiliated with or anything like that. But I just kind of feel like in our culture, yes, you're right in regards to we need to make sure that we're holding people accountable. But I'm not a big fan of saying like you're counseling him and he needs to learn from this mistake, because how many mistakes have we made in our life? Like, we're talking about a 23-year-old kid. Like, your brain hasn't even completely developed until you're 25. But it's like we're so quick to say or turn down, and he shouldn't do this, he shouldn't do that, and then we can't replace it. You know what I'm saying? We can't replace anything that, like, it's. I don't get it, is because it comes from, to me, it sounds like a bunch of hate instead of actually accountability. And I get the accountability piece, but let's just make sure we just like, okay, hey, if you see somebody that's moving like Ja that has the same potential, make sure we just hold them accountable across the board. But when we see a celebrity or quote unquote superstar gets put in the limelight, it's like, oh, this is we got to do that. Come on, man. Because at the end of the day, if that was your people, you would not be wanting to say, okay, hey, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's a part of this gang, he does, like, come on, man. Like, and then then the moment that it's something that's very small and minute, like, yeah, everybody want to, oh man, that's black against white. No, we do the same stuff to each other. Like, we got it. That shit look like hater shit. Like, there ain't no other way to look at that. If you don't have any like wise words to be like, okay, cool, this is how you messed up, cool. But the fact that people are making these articles and making these posts like they've never done anything, I just can't side with it. And it's the ones with the bigger platforms, I'm just like, okay, so we all been perfect. Like, y'all better not ever hope that somebody go in y'all closet and bring out something just because you tap dancing right now for these major outlets. I wasn't getting that. And that's been burning me up the most. It's like, nah, he just stupid. He ain't doing, like, man, we all was, bro. I'm not saying it's right, but if everything that we ever did was held to us to our age now, you may not be presented with the opportunity that you are now if everybody knew everything that you did. Like, and a couple of athletes that came out, I salute them, that said if we had a camera in our face all the time, back in the day, they would catch pretty much everything that we did, and we probably was going a lot harder than what y'all doing. So, I just think we got to get away from that cancel culture stuff. Is just, yeah. So let me get off my soapbox.
I do appreciate the ones like Jalen Rose and a couple other ones that came out and actually spoke and was like, yeah, I used to be that kid, and this is how you can change that activity and those actions to do better. Hate is a strong word, but I dislike a lot when all of a sudden we at a certain level and then we forget that we was 23 years old and then get to speaking down on somebody and the way they act and what they doing. these kids today don't have the privilege of when we did, of being 20, 21, 22, 23, where everybody's not having a cell phone in their hand, recording every simple thing, or have the addiction to social media of showing my followers this is what I'm doing, and I got to do it for the likes, I got to do it for the views, and all this other stuff. Even though back then we was that age, cell phones were out, but the video was so terrible that you couldn't even tell what was going on. It'd be skipping, it'd be grainy, it'd be, and then by the time you share it with somebody else, it looked even worse. So you can get away with stuff like that. Ain't even me. You can't even tell that's me. That you can get away with certain things like that. Like you said, we hear all the stories of the athletes of back in the 80s and the early 90s of what they was doing. And what he did at a strip club is light to what I've heard some of these older NBA players and NFL players was doing at strip clubs, or even buying a designated house for things to go down in. You know what I mean? So I would expect those athletes, and they might be doing it. Those athletes might be calling them like, "Hey, bro, that ain't the way to move." Some of them don't just put it out there on Front Street like others. For those who going on TV and just talking reckless about is he associated with certain gang and all that, y'all just assuming. So why even throw that out there? If you just assuming and you ain't got no concrete evidence to back that up, why even toss that out? Why even put that out there for anything? Or say what else that you assuming that he is involved in. Just leave all that mess alone and don't even throw it out. I just hate when they do that. But us as a culture and as a people, everybody, no matter, be honest with you, no matter what color you are, when the older people or grandparents or parents get talking about these youngsters and how crazy they are, you'll be thinking they so perfect, but then at the older you get to digging into your family past, like, boy, y'all was just as buck wild as we are. Some of y'all even worse than we are. So I think as overall as families, we got to stop doing that in general. And when we got these kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, we got to put them aside like, yeah, I was 21, 22, 23 at one point in time. Look, this is what happened when I was your age. Ain't much change from that. So you might want to move in a different direction instead of always downing somebody and talking about them and you acting slow and you acting crazy and knowing good and well while you talking about your daughter or your niece or your granddaughter walking down the beach with a thong on. Now pull up that picture from the Christmas party in 1988 and it was 40 degrees outside and you had on what you had on. Now let's put it all out there. So as a culture, as a people, as a family, we need to stop doing that overall and do more teaching and talking to somebody as an adult on how to move instead of always down.
I will say this though, the one thing that we got to realize is we have a choice on what we give credence to or what we digest. And what I mean by that is a lot of these people, to be honest, they fulfilling their role, and that's just the role of media. And so therefore
that's fact. They have to click some views too.
Yeah. Is it always positive? No. Is it always negative? No. But again, a lot of times people are doing their job or whatever. So at the end of the day, that's why I think we as a people have to put the onus on us as the individual. And so if I go out and do something crazy in this world and it gets on World Star, whatever the case may be, and somebody recorded it, I can't be mad at the person who recorded it. I had to own up and take responsibility for the action that I took, because at the end of the day, it was me doing a dumbass thing that whatever got me on World Star. I can't go after the person or try to sue the person or try to do anything to the person who just happened to record my dumbass act. Now, the other part of it that I will say is, though, is we do need to come from a more empathetic and sympathetic standpoint and just be like, I was once that age. What would happen if somebody knew my true history or my full story? However, I will say this about Ja. I think what makes it so frustrating for some people and even athletes, and why they might voice some of the disdain that they voiced is because it's not one thing about Ja. It's not two stories about Ja. As of recently, it's been 4 stories about Ja. When he fought the 17-year-old kid that was at his house, then supposedly showed a strap. When he went up to the mall 9, 10 deep, threatening to fight the employee at the shoe store, and then this and everything. So it's been stories that's been building up and mounting up that haven't been in the right limelight or from the right perspective or viewpoint. And so the thing is, I think what Ja really needs is some people in his corner, not some yes man, some people in his corner to be like, bro, like, I understand you want to turn up, you want to live life, but you got to protect the bag. You got to protect the investment. You got to protect the future. And the bag, the future, the investment is you. And if you go out here doing crazy stuff, you're not going to be able, you have a young, beautiful girl, like you're not going to be able to provide for her the way that you want to provide for her and do the things that you want to do, because you might be jeopardizing everything that you worked so hard for. You know, them days that you and your father was in the backyard and you was going through them trainers and stuff, you jeopardizing that. Another thing is T. You can't be his turn up buddy all the time. You gotta get him in order. I know he's y'all hard work has allowed y'all to reach a certain status and level, but you can't fuck up all the hard work that you've done, because if you do, it's for naught. So I just feel like he needs some different people in his corner, or he needs the people that's in his corner, if they are telling him stuff, to just fall back from him and be like, say, bro, you're gonna have to be on your own from this. Like, I still rock with you, I'm still your partner, but I can't be with you if you're doing this, because at the end of the day, you jeopardizing yourself, and that hurts me more than being with you while you're doing the reckless stuff. And if we as brothers, as friends, as partners, as whatever, took more time really trying to give the constructive criticism, especially with people like that, people who got the money, because sometimes it's easy for you to be constructive criticism with somebody who on the same level as you, but when somebody bringing in millions and shit, and you still the same cat that you was from back home or whatnot, of course it's gonna be harder for you to tell your partner he doing wrong because he the breadwinner. So sometimes we just need people to to buck the system and be like, say, we got to do it this way, and this is what it is.
I'm following you, and I think where you coming from, especially like from the T perspective, I would agree with. But I'm gonna be real with you, and this comes from a very optimistic spot. I don't think that conversation gonna come from within. Them little young cats living the life, my boy up, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be them falling back. I think they're just gonna have to realize that it ain't the same way that he could have moved around with, Murray State. And it's the thing is like, don't run your spot hot. Like, just chill. Like, you're gonna have fun. Like, that's just part of it. Like, but I don't know if that conversation gonna come from within. He may really just need to start hanging with basketball players, like hanging with your teammates. Like, that's where he's gonna be able to, navigate and realize, okay, like Carmelo said in his interview on another podcast, was that like David Stern told him, I know everything. I know who you kick it with. I know who they kick it with. I know what they do. So either tell them to stop or remove yourself. And sometimes, though, these type of moments are just like that little flash of light before we get that serious. So hopefully he just take heed from those type of situations. But I can't expect for, if I came up with my mud brothers and we make it to that spot, I don't know if any of us gonna be able to handle that type of fame, because it came from nowhere and they came from nothing. Like, everybody got this little thought that he's, some private school child with, 2-parent household. Yeah, the 2-parent household, but please don't get it confused with all the extras that they talking about. Like, not that he's some thug, but he grew up around some cats that just, they love to live life, man. So
Well,
yeah,
this is the
it's
thing
gonna
that
be
get me
hard. It's
about
gonna be hard for him just to, do what they
this thing.
say.
I'm gonna wrap it up. I ain't got too much more to say, but this thing you
Yeah.
brought up, this thing get me back to private school situation. Like, you realize you go to a private school and still go home in the hood, right? Like that. Like I see it all the time. I see these private school buses hitting every part of Nashville, and some of them be in the hood picking up kids at 6:30 in the morning. And when they drop them off, they going back to the hood. They escape the hood for them 8 hours, them 10 hours where they got practice. But when they get dropped off at nighttime, they going back to the hood. Like, we can't use that as an excuse why somebody is acting a certain way or he pretending or whatever.
Yeah. Even in a two-parent household, because I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the cats that I actually know that was really like that had both of their parents at the house. Like, just the foolish stuff that we try to make it like this is what makes you tough and this is what makes you about it. Just kill it, man. If you didn't come from that, quit trying to glorify and speak on it and let the man be a basketball player if that's what it is. But the college kids that, never was around and talking about, oh, he's fake. Man, listen, why does it matter? You watching him play basketball, right? You're not asking him to go on the shootout with you or sell dope or anything that y'all consider gangster. It's like the whole how we try to compartmentalize and judge people based off of what you hear from social media. Like, that shit really gets you hurt in the streets and people can really just reach out and touch you. I just think that people don't look at it from that sense. And maybe I'm too logical thinking about it, but it's like, just quit trying to box people in. Private schools, they go to private schools all the time, bro. They will come pick them kids up in the hood, take them to school, and drop them off after practice, before school, whatever they need to do to win them championships, dog. That's just the game. Like, two-parent household means absolutely nothing. If you didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean? I know
Prime
some
example.
killers I know killers in family pictures. Like,
Prime
like, I
example.
don't get it. Like, it just be
The
stupid shit.
person behind you had a two-parent household for a nice little amount of time before his mother and father got divorced.
Yeah.
Nipsey had a two-parent household for a while. His father was always in his life, and he was considered to be a street nigga. Nobody never questioned that about him.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. I don't get it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No supremely black person this week. No black businessman. We'll be back next week for that. We got to end a little early, so we appreciate y'all tuning in and viewing the podcast. For all my kings out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side, let them know you are a king. For all our queens out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side, let them know you are a queen. We are supremely black, and we out.